He is definitely organic, a literal living.
Oh, I did not have to see that. Oh, I did not have to see this either. Yo, do you have a Discord account? Then you are in luck, because my Discord is available to join for free. For free, you ask yourself? Yes, for free. Go to the description right now and join. We can hang out, talk about anime, manga, games, music, anything else you want to talk about. Would you get booted in there? Well, fear not, because I do not tolerate such behavior and will make sure that doesn't happen. The server is a safe haven for everyone, excluding those bullies. Want the easy way to request videos? Well, the Discord is the place to be. And much more, so join now. Hello internet, welcome to Game Theory. I like the intro though, yeah. Alright, well today I'm gonna do, I'm gonna react to this, this game theory about, puppy playtime. Yes, there is. After I played the game, I've been, really, starting to invest in this series because, bro, I feel like this is gonna be the next FNAF, right? Like, I feel like this could be something really, really big, bro. Like, Bandy in the Ink Machine type, big, right? So I'm curious. I haven't watched this video yet. I was about to, but you know what's like, I just wanna see how this performs. If people fuck with this or not, you know. Like, it's just you know, I'm just experimenting with videos nowadays because you know, I just want to see what's good, you know. Like, I don't want to upload shit I care about, and I want to see if other people care about it as well, you know. So I know this fandom is really big, so it shouldn't be a problem, I guess. But let's see. All right, Puppy Playtime, the bloody history of Puppy Playtime. All right, bet.
Doki Doki Literature Club solved. Bandy in the Ink Machine solved. Five Nights at Freddy's solved.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on 2x speed. I'm built different. I'm sorry.
Maybe, then kind of retconned and solved again. I don't know, it's kind of solved. Yeah, remains to be seen. Anyway, today there's a new challenger, Puppy Playtime. And with only one chapter available, this thing is ripe for the theorizing. We've seen children's toys and games trying to kill us in the past, but it's never been anything like this.
Oh, okay.
Hello internet, welcome to Game Theory, where today I wanted to start off by introducing you to our latest piece of merch. Say hello to the Matty Pally doll. Matty Pally, the perfect friend for every theorist.
But hey, that's just a theory.
And that's not all he can say, he's actually full of all the favorite catchphrases from the channel.
I'm coming to get you, Matpat.
Oh, okay, very funny. Who changed the voice box?
No one did, Matpat.
Okay.
I'm going to kill you, Matpat, and that's no theory.
And we're done with that one. Why do I always end up with all the creepy possessed stuff? Guess it's just kind of the brand now. But hey, if you like all things creepy, why not hit that subscribe button? If you don't, well, let's just say that I can't guarantee your safety from whatever scary toys you have lurking around your house.
I have no toys in my house, bro.
I can't really do that even if you do push the subscribe button, but still, pushing that button won't hurt. So, Puppy Playtime, the latest horror craze filling the void of emptiness as we asymptotically approach the release of Security Breach. If there's a formula for indie horror, this thing checks all the boxes. Simple creative gameplay? Check. Horrific childhood playthings? Check. Mysterious hidden lore sprinkled throughout? Double check.
Yep.
So today we're gonna look at the first chapter to start piecing together what's really going on in this game and what's gonna be coming in the future installments. And let me tell you this, while it may certainly look similar to the dozens of indie horror games that we've seen in the past, this one has some unexpected twists that make it all the more surprising and the more terrifying. And I gotta say, for the first time in what seems like forever, there's no malicious AI trying to steal your identity to escape their video game prison by hopping into your body. No matter what else the story entails, big props on being creative on that one. When we boot up chapter 1, we're told that we're taking on the role of an ex-employee of the Playtime company, finally returning to the factory years after everyone mysteriously disappeared inside. If that
mysteriously disappeared, yeah. Mysteriously, okay.
It's not a theorist invite, I don't know what is. What happened? Why are we the ones who remain? One click into this game and already there are so many questions circulating around. So, to start our adventure, we receive a note informing us that these missing employees never actually left the building, alongside a VHS tape that introduces us to the titular character Puppy Playtime, a doll with hair that smells like poppies, weirdly realistic eyes, and the ability to have actual conversations.
She is the
that's not creepy at all.
truly intelligent doll in the world. A little girl can talk to her, Poppy gives her answers.
Which, gotta say, is a whole lot of red flags right off the bat. I've played enough horror games over the years to know that when inanimate objects start talking to you, you start running in the other direction. But, I don't know, it's a game. What else am I gonna do? I'm curious, so off to the factory we go. Right off the bat, we find a giant version of the popular Playtime company mascot, Huggy Wuggy. Huh, those cold dead eyes aren't ominous at all. Sure, nothing bad's gonna come from this guy. Now, watching playthroughs of Poppy Playtime, there is one thing that immediately stands out. Everyone high-fives Huggy.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. I did it too. High five. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just inviting. He's just there like, yo, hit me, bro. Right? Oh. Right? Like, it's just, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It was the first thing on my mind. Like, okay, I gotta high five this man. I don't know why.
High five.
High five, buddy! Hey!
High five, man. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Even me. High five, Huggy. Boom! Apparently, there's just some sort of primal reflex in our monkey brains. Raised hand equals high five.
Yeah, I guess.
From there, we unlock the second hand of our grab pack. We get to build one of the toys. And look, it's that Muppet reject that we met earlier. Except now he's trying to kill us. Oh no, who could have seen that one coming? I mean, to be fair.
I mean, my theory is like he's just the security system they were talking about, right? Like, they had like sensors to activate the security system. I think that's what this guy is. I think he's the security system and that went rogue. I think that's a solid theory.
Fair, it is a legitimately terrifying
that
encounter.
thing's
Once
scary,
we manage
bro.
to escape the nightmare by throwing him down into the factory abyss, we see a large flower on the wall, along with all sorts of warnings about why we shouldn't go through that door. But those people clearly didn't know what they were talking about.
Where else do we have to
flower
go?
way inside and find Poppy herself resting inside a glass case. Without any forethought or concern for our own well-being, we rip open the case because, of course, we do. Do horror games not exist in these universes? We almost died in the arms of this giant Sesame Street reject. Let's just make our presence known to the creepy living doll now. The lights flash, Poppy's eyes open, and we get the final line of the chapter.
You opened my case.
And that's it. Big old cliffhanger for the next installment. But is it just me, or did it feel like there was something more going on here? Who am I kidding? Of course there's something more going on here. This is a modern indie horror game. There's hidden lore all over this thing. For starters, let's rewind a bit to take a closer look at Huggy Wuggy himself. We know from the opening placard that the toy was made in 1984 and became Playtime Company's most popular mascot, but how do you go from this to this? Toys just don't come to life, unless Toy Story was right all along. They don't. So what is this thing? Well, for obvious reasons, I immediately jumped to animatronic. But the game actually gives us clues that he's something else entirely. Something even more horrifying than we could have ever anticipated. If you're unfortunate enough to get killed by Huggy during the chase, you get a randomized death screen with a message that ranges from, "It's not your time," to "Don't let them inside." But mixed in there is the chance of you seeing one that reads, "EXP 1006, isn't he one?"
What? EXP. What, experience points? Okay.
Wonderful. This would suggest that someone is asking us what we think of their experiment, the monster that just killed us.
Oh, experience.
This isn't the only time that we see Huggy referred to by this name either. Throughout the game, we discover VHS tapes with recordings from various factory employees. The last one you receive is simply titled Unknown, and on it we hear—
Yeah, I hate that cassette. My hand got stuck because of that shit, bro. Here it is. Here it is. Alright, let's go. Can I get my hand back? I have to start over.
this message.
Final log in relation. Experiment 1006. The prototype. Coordination and cooperation is evidently within his skill set, though still missing. Today's events are no doubt in relation to him. We must forge onwards in the name of science, whether those who are beneath us understand it or not.
So he's an experiment within the facility that escaped and clearly created an incident within the factory, but this still doesn't explain why I think his creation is different from something like the animatronics in FNAF. Well, in the trailer for the game, we get our first look at Huggy, walking towards us while bits of text flash up on screen. These messages seem to be excerpts from documents of Playtime Co., but before you can read them, most of the text disappears to reveal a new, eerie sentence. But you know I'm gonna pause the video and read all the frame-perfect stuff, right? Most of the vanishing messages cover pretty standard stuff, mostly about grab pack safety. That is, until we get to the 43-second mark of the trailer, where suddenly we have a giant wall of darkened rolling text happening behind the main message. Hold the phone! Things that are hidden in the dark? What is this, a 2015 FNAF 14 teaser image. So, true to form, I
True.
do what I do best. I lower the contrast, I up the brightness, and voila, we got this. Experiment 1006, the prototype. He seems serviceable as the prime example for the type of vessel which we're trying to create. Despite his digestive tract being wired properly, the prototype finds no necessity for sustenance, unlike the others. All other experiments can only survive while subsisting on much larger portions. Huggy, as well as these other experiments, has a digestive system. That's not something an animatronic possessed by the soul of a dead child would need. It leads me to believe that Huggy is a living organic creature, not just a stuffed toy turned sentient. Although, if we're reading this right, Huggy just kills for fun. He doesn't need to eat, unlike the others. Plus, if we take a look at this scene where you cause the walkway to collapse, Huggy falls into the factory below, hitting 2 pipes along the way. Notice anything unusual? Here's the before and after shot to make it easy for you. You see, there's blood on the pipes. Huggy bleeds. He is definitely organic. A literal living...
Oh, I did not have to see that. Oh, I did not have to see this either, yo. But this? Oh, yeah. You could have kept that in the edits, bro. You could have no.
monster. But how are they turning toys into organic creatures?
They're
For
not.
that, let's actually turn our attention to the perfect
Turning
toy
children into
herself,
toys.
Poppy. When we're introduced to her in that initial VHS tape, we're told that she's perfect. She has hair that smells like poppies, which, side note, I looked into, and it turns out that poppies don't really have that much of a smell. Unless, of course, you're talking about opium poppies, in which case you're opening up a whole lot of messed up there. In the olden days, opium was used to relax and help you to sleep. No wonder this thing was a hit, especially with the parents, but I'm getting myself sidetracked here. Anyway, the important part of this ad is that a child can have conversations with Poppy and that she can talk back to give answers, which seems like a strange level of AI for a company that was around during the 1950s and 60s. Unless, of course, she's not an AI. In the teaser for Poppy Playtime, we see a tutorial on how to look after your Poppy doll. Near the end of the video, the voice box gets pulled out and we see that it's dripping with blood. Again, leading me to believe that these toys are actually all organic. But with Poppy, we can actually go one step further and figure out how she's been made organic. You see, the hardest secret to find in Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 is a pink VHS tape right before the final chase.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Wait. Oh my gosh, is that it?
Yep.
No way! Oh my gosh, that was it!
Well done.
Wow! I'm assuming the game really doesn't want me to do this, but I don't care. Because I found the lore. Oh no! If you manage to find it before getting locked out, the tape shows you an interview with a prospective employee, Stella Graber. She's a woman obsessed with living forever, wanting to be more like a child and longing to bring joy to children like her toys did for her.
Your body just gets older and older, and then you die. Human bodies just can't stay young forever.
This tape feels really random in the grand scheme of things. Like, why would we be shown this? Well, it starts to make much more sense in the context of living organic toys. Based on the way that she talks, Stella would be the perfect candidate for some experiments that Playtime were running. I believe that they used employees, specifically Stella, to make Poppy. Not just transferred her consciousness either, but used her physical body, their digestive systems, their brains, and in the case of Poppy, Stella's eyes. It seems like an extreme leap to make, but look at Poppy's eyes in the video. Tell me that those aren't human. You don't just add capillaries to your cute little doll's eyes. This would also align with the whole bleeding thing. Organic bodies made of flesh and organs that can bleed. It's also worth mentioning that the voice actor for Stella is the same as the voice actor for Poppy. This may just be because of limited voice actors, but it also feels like an interesting detail to call out. If I'm right about Stella and Poppy being one and the same, I think it gives us a pretty good idea of what her part is in the wider story. The general consensus online is that Poppy is gonna be the big bad. I mean, the game's got her name on it after all, but for me, I'm not so sure. I don't believe that Stella would be mad about being turned into a toy. I think that, honestly, she'd be delighted. She would not be delighted, however, in being locked away in a sealed glass case. Listen to that final line again when we open the glass case at the end of Chapter 1.
You opened my case.
It sounds like
sounds really grateful, right? Like, it doesn't really sound like, oh, I'm gonna kill you type of thing, right? Like, if she was literally mad about, you know, getting freed from the case, you would probably say something like, oh, you should have done that, or like something like that, right? Like a warning, right? I don't think she's evil.
confused, but thankful response. By
Yeah.
being locked away, she hasn't been able to go out into the world and bring joy to children. It's not much of an existence living inside a tiny box. Believe me, I know, doing this many videos every week, I've become very used to the confined space of my recording closet. Us coming along and freeing her? I think that's gonna be the rescue that she's been longing for. Some of the death messages also lead me to believe that Poppy isn't trying.
You got balls of steel if you do that. What? Yo, that's some balls of steel type shit, bro. There's no... You're running backward. I made a joke in the video like running backward, but goddamn, this man actually did it.
To kill us. Look again
Oh,
at
that's
these
so
screens.
creepy,
I need
bro.
you alive. It's too early to die. Death isn't permanent. Who is talking to us in these screens? Well, I think it's Poppy. She's the only other character that we've been introduced to so far, so if it's not her, it kinda has to be someone else that we haven't really met yet. She's calling out to us. She needs us, and it's not just for her sake either. Another death screen reads, "More lives are at risk than just yours." Whoever this person is, they're hoping that we can help all of the vanished employees. And it doesn't end there. There's one final death screen to call out. This one. Which looks like somebody head desked their keyboard repeatedly, but it actually
Not
appears
Russian
to be
or something.
Cyrillic characters.
Oh,
or
okay.
at least approximately close to Cyrillic characters. For those of you who don't know, Cyrillic is the alphabet used for Slavic languages. Places like Russia, Bulgaria, the Ukraine. You know, the countries that give new meaning to the word cold. Who knows, maybe the languages all look this way with the extra accents and swoops because people trying to write them are shivering all the time. Anyway, for it being Cyrillic, it actually looks to be a simple substitution cipher, with different characters representing different characters from the Latin alphabet that we're more familiar with. Notice these two in a row right here? Probably EE or OO. Using that as our base and trying lots of different combinations, we can't come to a definitive conclusion. There just isn't enough letters here, but stay, they need help certainly fits the pattern that we're seeing in the letters, which again hints at the fact that these are people, ex-employees trapped inside the bodies of the monsters looking to escape. All of this points to Poppy becoming our companion. Maybe she'll help us solve puzzles by getting into spaces that we can't, or she'll be able to distract the monsters while we progress, or she'll just be our guide through the factory maze, kind of like GLaDOS the potato from Portal 2. But
that
in
would be
some
fun.
small way, I think that she's going to be helping us both save herself and all the others. So if Poppy is our helper, then who's our big bad? Well, remember the trailer? While discussing Huggy, it mentioned others. So did the VHS tape. We know that Huggy is experiment 1006, which, if this scientist has any respect for logical procedure, would imply that he's actually the 6th experiment they've created. Sure, they call him the prototype, but he's gained that name because, as the trailer said, he seems serviceable as the prime example for the type of vessel that we're trying to create. So they thought they'd got the experiment right that time, but clearly there were others before him, all with cognitive ability, but these ones are gonna be hungrier. They're gonna be more bloodthirsty than Huggy. And gotta admit, he was already pretty bad. So then, who or what came before? Well, during the course of the game, we're actually made aware of 5 other toys that Playtime creates. Candy Cat,
yes,
Bot,
that's
Brawn,
true.
Cat Bee, and a pink version of Huggy, which we'll call Ms. Huggy. If Huggy was experiment 1006, with 5 other toys available, I think it's likely that they're gonna be the monsters that show up in future chapters. But kicking us off in chapter 2, I believe, will be Cat Bee. Why? Well, because as much as there are references to all the other toys throughout the factory, Cat Bee's the one that has an active part in this chapter of the story. After getting the storeroom tape, we see a conveyor belt, which is covered in Cat Bee parts. Once we crawl through the vents, we end up at an assembly line, where we then proceed to activate and create a Cat Bee toy. The others have all been background characters to the chapter, but we actively create Cat Bee, which seems like a metaphor for the humans creating monsters, and that points me in the direction of Cat Bee being our next big bad. But all of it leaves me with one final question. Clearly, Poppy put Playtime on the map in the 1960s, based on the vintage style of the Poppy ad and the fact that the ad is actually in color, which is something that wasn't available until the 1960s. Huggy Wuggy was invented in 1984, after Poppy. So if Poppy was a human experiment and she was perfect, then why are Huggy and all the other experiments then monsters? Well, my theory is that Poppy was a human experiment done back in the 1960s and was a roaring success, but the secret to how it was done was kept under wraps. And as dolls came out of fashion, the company had to evolve, creating new colorful toys like Candy Cat and Huggy Wuggy. We can see, based on the toy packaging, that this went on for some time. Huggy's packaging is very similar to those of the 1980s. Boogie Bot Matpat and Candy Cat look much more like toys from the early 2000s. Clearly, the company was able to survive for a long time, but it wasn't enough to keep the company afloat, and so someone in the factory decided to pursue new innovations to bring Playtime Co. back to its former glory. Innovation is key, after all, as we see in one of the death screens. Without any knowledge of how they managed to successfully create Poppy, the scientists get to work trying to recreate the magic. Toys that would come to life, acting like pets for children, bring them joy. Once again, they succeed in creating something organic, but they miss the one human element that made the original Poppy experiment successful: willingness. Stella was the perfect subject. She seemed like she'd be over the moon with living forever as a child. However, our scientist may not have known about Stella and what made her, and therefore Poppy, special. I bet you that characters like the disgruntled storeroom worker Rich that we meet in the tapes are people that have been turned into these monstrous toys. He doesn't seem all that pleased with the company making his life difficult, and we know that although they may have a clean, sparkly outward image, Playtime don't tend to treat their employees very well. Wouldn't be too hard to believe that they saw the tape of Rich complaining and decided he needed to be disciplined in a very special way. But Rich doesn't have that childlike wonder of Stella or that natural love of toys, and so when he gets made into one, he becomes a monster. The experiment backfires and starts killing the employees. The scientist locked himself away in the same room that we found Poppy. She was patient zero, locked away in the case to protect and study her, until of course we come along and set her free. There you have it, friends, my predictions for Poppy Playtime. Was I right? Was I wrong? I guess we're just gonna have to
never know.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. A lot of things to consider. So the theory is Poppy is one of the employees that willingly became a toy, and the other experiments were not willingly turned into toys, so that's why they became monsters. That's probably what this is about. So they had the success of Poppy, which you know worked because willingness and you know consent. But if you don't have consent to turn someone into a toy, well, I guess their conscience is like, fuck, I hate everything, right? They're just gonna become monsters and just want to kill everything around them, which is understandable. And I like the theory of like the other toys being monsters or future monsters. So there might be a 6-chapter game if they make each chapter about one monster, right? Because there was this cat, the pink wuggy, the bee cat, the boogie bot, right? The boogie bot thing, and oh yeah, the dinosaur, right? Yeah, the dinosaur. And then Wuggy, of course, right? But yeah, solid theory. Yeah, I always enjoy these theories of this. Like, even though you might be wrong sometimes, right? But it's just, I don't know, it's just enjoyable to see people brainstorming these ideas of games before, you know, everything is revealed, right? It's just part of like the game experience, if that makes sense, right? Like, figuring out the mysteries of the game is like one of the most fun things I feel like you can experience in games, right? Just solving mysteries. I like that.